Does your association own the clubhouse? If it doesn't, this is a must-watch video. So if you're watching this video and your association owns a clubhouse, thank you for watching the video. You can go ahead and watch one of our other videos. If you don't, or your association doesn't own the clubhouse and you want to understand how you're going to work through this, continue watching this video and we're going to go over it. So there's been a recent trend over the past couple of years where in an HOA, the developer sells the home and the clubhouse is part of the association, but who owns the clubhouse is the developer. So what happens if you don't own your clubhouse, and what is your association to do? So let's talk about the options that the developer has with that clubhouse. So the first option they have is they can actually sell the clubhouse to another entity. And what happens if they sell it to another entity? This entity has the right to increase the operating costs or do as they please with the clubhouse. Don't think that now I don't have to pay maintenance fees because I'm not going to use the clubhouse. As a resident of the association, you still have full responsibility for all the fees that are associated with operating that particular clubhouse. So it puts the association in a very tough predicament because you don't have control of what can be done within that clubhouse, and you can't even manage the operating expenses of that clubhouse, but you have full responsibility for all the expenses for that clubhouse. So let's go to option number 2. So as an association, the developer can sell that clubhouse back to the association. So what are the benefits of the association purchasing this clubhouse? The biggest benefit that we see is that you have full control of managing that clubhouse, managing its expenses, managing the staff, managing anything that has to do with the clubhouse in itself. So if your association is in the position or the developer has offered you to purchase the clubhouse, what steps should you take in order to purchase this clubhouse? So over the past couple of years, we've helped over 7, I think maybe now 8 associations totaling close to $60 million in clubhouse purchases. So what I want to share with you is a couple tips and tricks of how we've been able to do it. Number 1 is what I believe is the most important one, is you want to try to move as quickly as possible to the purchase. Why? Because if you don't move quickly, the price is actually predetermined within your association documents. So the longer you wait, the higher the cost of the potential clubhouse would be. So if you have that escalating cost, what do you need to structure in order to try to close on this clubhouse as quickly as possible? Number 1, you want to make sure that you have the right team in place to be able to execute it. As you can imagine, having to do a closing for a clubhouse, let's say of $8 million, there's a lot of intricate parts that need to be put in place. So you want to make sure that, number 1, you get a contract from the developer of what that purchase is going to be. Number 2, you want to be able to assess what are the current staffing conditions for your association. Why is this important? Because as you're purchasing the clubhouse, you can actually put the association in a very good position to succeed in the future. Why? Because as you purchase the clubhouse, you want to make sure that you're structuring the staff to be able to not just support the clubhouse, but also to potentially support the rest of the sub-associations within your community. Many times we've seen associations go from portfolio managed to on-site managed because we've put the right structure in place. So as a board, you're going to be able to set your association up for success, assuming you have the right tools or the right team in place to be able to organize the purchase of this clubhouse properly. So one of the biggest questions we get from board members that are going through this and they've hired us to help them go through this is, how do we afford this? How are we going to pay for this? So as I've mentioned throughout the video, it's important to have the right management structure and the right team in place. Because in order to purchase this, you are going to need to make amendments to your budgets. You are going to need to know what's the structure going to look like for the staff, for the management of that clubhouse. So you're going to need to prepare a budget for this. Once you have this budget, then we're working with your association's attorney to review the documents and make sure everything is properly in order. Then we're going to be working with the banking partner that's going to finance this on behalf of your association. And lastly is the biggest piece, where many associations that don't have the right partner fall short, and that is the communication with the residents. Many residents, while they signed the dotted line knowing that the clubhouse was going to be sold, whether to an outside entity or whether the association was going to purchase it, have no idea that they needed to purchase this clubhouse. So working with the right partners such as us, that we've done already 7 to 8 of these deals, we have a pattern of how we're gonna communicate with the residents through town hall meetings, through emails, through videos, through different formats, so that when the day comes to purchase the clubhouse, they clearly understand why the board of directors and why the association is taking these steps. Many times this step gets missed, and what ends up happening is that the clubhouse doesn't get purchased, or it takes much longer to purchase the clubhouse, and they end up paying hundreds of $1,000s more for not taking this decision earlier. So I know this can seem a little bit complex and a little bit overwhelming, but I promise you that we have a proven process in place to be able to help you through that. We're happy to share the information with you. If you want to learn a little bit more, don't hesitate to visit our website, managedbyaffinity.com. If you've enjoyed this video, make sure to subscribe, as we have weekly videos coming out. I'll see you in our next video.